Hi, I'm Ron Kogan with greencar.com. Today we're going to talk about how hybrid cars work, like this Nissan Altima hybrid I'm standing in front of. Regular cars use an internal combustion engine. It usually runs on gasoline, some run on diesel. Those are the two choices. Today we have hybrid electric cars. Those combine standard internal combustion drive along with an electric motor powered by batteries. Hybrid cars are very efficient by nature. Most of them are designed so that when you're first starting out, you're driving on electric power. As the car picks up speed, the internal combustion engine takes over seamlessly. You can't even feel it, and you drive along that way. If you need more power as you're passing or climbing a hill, the electric motor joins in, gives you even more power to do those very efficiently. The advantage of a hybrid car is the very fact that it has those two power sources. Electric motors are inherently very efficient. The problem is you can't drive on electric power for great distances or at great speeds because it takes a lot of battery power. Batteries are expensive, they're heavy, and you have to put a lot of them in a car to be able to work on electricity only. That's being worked on with electric cars, and we'll see that coming in years ahead. Today, hybrids have an advantage because they have those two power sources. They'll use the appropriate power source when it's needed under specific conditions. And in the end, you get extremely high fuel efficiency, up to 45, 50 miles per gallon in some instances, and extremely low emissions, which is important for the air quality in our cities today.
So the parts of a hybrid car is 1. The gasoline engine. The hybrid car has a gasoline engine much like the one you will find on most cars. However, the engine on a hybrid is smaller and uses advanced technologies to reduce emissions and increase efficiency. 2. The fuel tank. The fuel tank in a hybrid is the energy storage device for the gasoline engine. Gasoline has a much higher energy density than batteries do. For example, it takes about 1,000 pounds of batteries to store as much energy as 1 gallon, 7 pounds of gasoline. 3. Electric motor. The electric motor on a hybrid car is very sophisticated. Advanced electronics allow it to act as a motor as well as a generator. For example, when it needs to, it can draw energy from the batteries to accelerate the car. But acting as a generator, it can slow the car down and return energy to the batteries. 4. The generator. The generator is similar to an electric motor, but it acts only to produce electric power. It is used mostly on series hybrids. 5. Batteries. The batteries in a hybrid car are the energy storage device for the electric motor. Unlike the gasoline in the fuel tank, which can only power the gasoline engine, the electric motor on a hybrid car can put energy into the batteries as well as draw energy from them. And then last but not least, the transmission. The transmission on a hybrid car performs the same basic function as the transmission on a conventional car. Some hybrids like the Honda Insight have conventional transmissions. Others, like the Toyota Prius, have radically different ones, which we'll talk about later.
First off, the Infiniti M35 hybrid works on two engines, like all hybrids. The electric engine has 32 miles per gallon, and then the gasoline engine has 27 miles per gallon. Considering it is a luxury car, it is $53,700 because it has more features and it's a luxury car. The second one is the Ford Fusion Hybrid, which has 41 miles per gallon on electric and 36 miles per gallon on gasoline. It costs $30,000 and is just your standard Navigator. And the Chevy Equinox has 43 miles per gallon, and it is the same for gasoline. It is $27,000 and it's your van.
There are two main advantages of hybrid cars compared to traditional cars. One is lower CO2 emissions and therefore less impact to global warming. And the other is higher fuel efficiency that can save you a sufficient amount of money over the years. In times when gasoline was fairly cheap, improving mileage wasn't something many people worried with. But at these uncertain economic times, when almost any dollar matters, fuel efficiency has become rather important advantage that hybrid cars have over traditional cars. The biggest disadvantage of hybrid cars is that they're still fairly expensive. Namely, the production of hybrid cars still has relatively high costs. Hybrid cars therefore usually cost and range from $20,000 to $50,000, more than their non-hybrid versions. The high cost of hybrid cars are usually the results of using very rare materials in their production. For instance, dysprosium used to fabricate many of the advanced electric motors and battery systems in hybrid propulsion systems, and neodymium used as a crucial ingredient in high-strength magnets that are found in permanent magnet electric motors. The other disadvantage of hybrid cars is that they're usually heavier than their non-hybrid versions, so that their handling isn't in the same range as it is with conventional cars. The fact that they are usually heavier than their non-hybrid versions is because hybrid car batteries are very heavy. Another currently big disadvantage of hybrid cars is the servicing. It is not only difficult to find a garage that has the necessary equipment to service your hybrid car, so in most cases you will be forced to make service at the manufacturer, which in most cases can turn out to be very expensive.
Hybrid cars use a combination of both electricity and gasoline. Using that, they will get more mileage than other cars. Hybrid cars are just a bit expensive, but with new developments in science, they will get cheaper and better. Hybrid cars are better than other cars because, first of all, they are not that expensive compared to hydrogen and ethanol, or using corn and tomatoes as fuel. They are also better than electric cars because they do not get really slow and they do not have only a limited amount of speed, like 30 miles per hour. The world can save gasoline if they all just got hybrid cars. This is because they don't use much as gasoline, but they actually do the same amount of performance as them. Buy hybrids and start your engines the green planet way.